Okay, there. The broadcast is live.
We are live. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Fierce Feminine Fridays. Today I am with Queena Tahi. She is a visibility strategist and she's created a whole plethora of visibility platforms. She's helped other women produce visibility strategies, including mine. She was a pivotal part of my summit team, and I'm just so grateful for her for that. And why we're talking about what we're talking about today, right? It says remembering the Hawaiian people versus a giant telescope. And I didn't actually realize when I invited Queena to talk specifically today that this was the week of the anniversary of when it all began back in Hawaii. So brief overview, giant telescope was set to be placed on top of Mauna Kea on the big island of Hawaii. And yes, I'm all for science. My daughter is even studying astronomy, but there's already 12 other telescopes up there. This is going to be number 13. And the location that they chose was right on top of a sacred bathing pool, right? That's been sacred since ancient Hawaiians, and the ali'i, or the Hawaiian royalty, used to go up there to commune and worship the gods. And so just keep in mind, Mauna Kea is the tallest mountain if you're measuring from base to apex, whatever the top of a mountain is called, right? The base is on the ocean floor. It is the tallest mountain in the world if you include this parts that's below sea level. And Mount Everest is if you're measuring from sea level and up. So I just wanted to preface that way, right? So this pool is very cold up there. It's just very cold. And what happened about a year ago, the kupuna, who are the elder generation, they were the ones that brought it to our attention that, like, hey, this is sacred. We need to preserve it. And then people started chaining themselves across the road so that the trucks with all the telescope equipment couldn't pass. So they were doing peaceful protesting. That's how it all started. And then it just became this huge movement online where you see the hashtag Kukia'i Mauna. It means, I don't know.
Protector of the mountain.
Yes, I'm like, what's my brain fart? But yeah, protector of the mountain. And like The Rock came to Hawaii, Jason Momoa came to Hawaii. So a lot of these celebrities who had ties with Hawaii, or even those who didn't, were promoting keeping our sacred places safe from, like I said, I'm not against scientific advancement, but when you are infringing on other people's sacred lands, this is not good. It's not good. And I liken it to what's happening now with the whole Black Lives Movement, right? Hashtag BLM. That's how it's all getting out there. And why I also brought Queena on today is, right, she's a visibility strategist. She helps people with Instagram strategy, podcast strategy. She's even hosted live events called, there's one called Mom Table Talk and Mom's Talking. And, she's really had these really big ideas to help women, mompreneurs, get their business and their movement started. And that's also what I'm all about. And that's actually how we connected, right? And so without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Queena. She's going to introduce herself and tell you more about her. And I just love her. And we're just buddies. We reach out to each other when we need a little pick me up, because, we are the same, right? We're both Polynesians. We are, we have similarities in who we are, and she's also a mom. So she's checking on her kids. She's being a responsible mother right now. So yeah. Go ahead, Queen.
Yeah, I just saw movement in the corner of my eyes. So, right? But I love you too, Kylie. And I think the intro was like way better than whatever intro I was going to give myself. But yes, I do biz events and podcasts. I really, I didn't really see myself as a visibility strategist until you mentioned like what I'm doing. I'm helping people get visible. And so I'm going to file that away and think more on that. Yes, but I do that. The Mom is Talking is something that we started here in Hawaii. We're in the process of getting our 501c3 for it because it's to be a nonprofit. And right now I have a summit that's in the works called the Work From Phone Moms Summit Instagram edition. So we have some IG experts who are speakers, and I'm really excited about that. Yeah, I guess that's my intro. I just like to do biz events and podcasts and get mamas. Specifically right now I'm working because I have mom of young kids and also teenagers. Actually, my oldest is an adult now. He's going to be 19 next month.
Oh
I keep forgetting that. I know. It's like, she's my baby.
Right.
And so specifically just mom entrepreneurs and trying to get them together to help each other grow and learn from each other. Because I remember when I first became a mother back in 2001, I always thought, man, I wish there was like a school where moms could learn how to build businesses from home. And so this is a way for me to help that dream I had back in 2001 come to reality. There have been some trips along the way and some learning experiences, but like I got to meet someone like Kylie.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Talk about trip ups. We met in a podcasting group, and I've never started a podcast yet.
And I keep resetting my podcast, so I get it.
Yeah. And, and that's the thing, right? Being, stepping into your fierce feminine leadership is knowing what works, what doesn't work, tweaking, leaving behind what doesn't serve you anymore. Like if it's not growing, if it's not serving you, why keep it around? Like,
yeah.
I mean, especially with COVID right now, we understand life is short. Life is just short. And as I was journaling this morning, I wrote in my journal, like, question for me and for you, the audience, what would you do? Or what would you be thinking? Or what would you be thinking about, right? Say you're in the hospital, you're on a ventilator. What thought is going through your mind? It's not going to be about making more money. It's not going to be about, oh, I should have spent more time in my job and my work. It's going to be about who I'm going to miss and how I wish I spent more time with them.
Right.
And that's what you and I are all about, right? When you help like the members of your mastermind group, right? It's all about embracing the mom life and building a business.
Yeah.
You're creating your summit, how to work from home from your phone for moms. It's like genius, because that's what you do.
That's what we're doing. Yeah, we're on our phone. Like back in the 90s, you weren't working from your phone, really, like not the way now. And with social media is something that no one saw coming. But the moment, what was the first social media platform that was popular? MySpace came along. People were like, wait, I know, right? I'm still mad at MySpace because I have a video that I have to get from them, but I can't remember my password.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But social media was something that no one saw coming, and now everyone's trying to get on that, right? The whole social media platform. And especially businesses, because they're like, wow, this is free marketing, right? If you have an account that people just eat up and think is great, then right there, that's free marketing for them. And then now everyone, what's the other thing, right? Kylie, Facebook ads. Everyone's trying to get into Facebook ads and stuff and trying to make that work for them.
Yeah. And I love that, we're both in Influencer Soft, because it's like, not only is it a platform that integrates all the way from chat bots to your social media platform, to your website and landing pages, all the way to making a sale. I'm a systems girl.
Yeah.
It has the whole funnel all built out or connected in the back end. So you don't have to have all these different softwares talking to each other through Zapier, right? It's like, it's all in one place.
I am going to be honest, Influencer Soft, I am still kind of like, what is going on? So once I'm done with this summit, then I'm going to try and build it out. But I'm going to be honest, like with everyone, that it's still in its beginning stages. So
Yeah.
there's a huge learning curve when it comes to influencer soft.
Yeah. And you know what? That's honestly why I bought into it so I could get the founder's rate. Hopefully it's still available. But
no, it's up to like 1,000 something now.
oh,
Yeah.
right. But because of the potential, right?
Right.
I would classify myself as an early adopter because of the potential.
Yeah.
And like how many other things I can eliminate. Like I can stop so many of my other subscriptions.
Yeah.
As I transition into this.
Yep.
And, you know, like that's what building a business is all about. It's about going in, learning, tweaking, and just finding out what works for you. You know,
you're exactly right, because you think about all the big online digital marketing gurus that everyone's following now. Amy Porterfield. There's other names too that aren't as big. I did Amy Porterfield, James Wedmore, Marie Forleo, this and that. You all see what's going on right now with them. Like, oh wow, they know what they're doing. They got it. And you know what? They were tripping up like every other beginning entrepreneur too. They were investing in things and it didn't work out. All of them were Ramit Sethi. Do you know him? Yeah, him, Pat Flynn, they were all tripping up. And I can guarantee you they're still tripping up now, but they're just not making as many of the mistakes they were making before. They learned from them. And
I feel like too, right? Or their mistakes are like covered because they can absorb the cost of their mistakes.
Now, yes, now. Probably not when they first started. Yeah. I get that.
But now it's like, oh, you don't.
And now they have more of a following that's more forgiving too. They have those, what they call, Pat Flynn created a book, I think it was called Super Fans. Now they have super fans that when they trip up, they're like, you know what? We already like, know, and trust you. It's all good, Matt. It's all good, bro. It's all good.
Right. Right. See, that's why I love. So this is how we chat. Like when we talk together, we talk about business strategy and stuff. And it's, I found it hard to find moms who talk about business, right? When you go to mom's play groups or whatever, who talks about business? Right? Like, I mean, if you think about, like, for the audience, if you think about the social circles that you're in, they talk about, oh, what do you do for a living, right? What job do you have, but not what business do you own. And really nobody talks about all of funnel, strategy, email list, followers, like what? Well,
you're a good systems person. I will, like, Kylie has helped me so much figure things out. Even I'm currently in a very legal situation right now, and Kylie was like, make sure you document everything. And the moment I took her advice, like, that helped me so much. So anytime that you guys are working with someone, this is straight from Kylie, who shows, signs that, oh, maybe we shouldn't be working together, make sure to document everything, like what day something happened, what they did, to prove your point as to why you guys shouldn't be working together, or why they should be fired or whatnot, or let go. Maybe fired's too strong of a word right now.
Oh yeah, but you know how I learned that? It's because I went through a very nasty divorce, and that's what my lawyer told me. So
divorce.
Right, I just did a video about systems are everywhere. They are literally everywhere. So I just took a system that worked, right? Was a legal situation, and then you just apply it.
Yeah, MLMs run on systems,
right?
Like Proactive, we have this 3-system thing to get rid of acne, right? Yeah, there you go. Is that Rodan and Fields? I can't see.
No, it's Modere. It's a different.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of them run on 3-part systems because 3 is a magical number in the I don't know, the human brain world.
Yes.
Like,
right.
in 3 easy steps, you can get this. Yeah. Right. So there you go, guys. A little psychological selling for you.
Yes.
3.
NLP on sales.
And it has to be a system. Step 1 and 3 easy steps. Yeah, you don't really hear like in 10 easy steps.
No, 10 is like 10. But yeah, like I did a Facebook Live in my group Systems That Sell, right? I had this emery board. I was just grabbing things from my desk that, like, oh my gosh, it's a system. what the,
Mm-hmm.
but what I want people to realize about systems is systems aren't hard. Systems are created there as structure. And how I kind of fell into this whole systems thing, I'm not like, my brain doesn't actually go that way. I think I'm an Enneagram 2 wing.
I still don't know mine.
I know, but I'm that wing where I'm not totally anal like an Enneagram 1, but I'm kind of like a shade off from that. But I love to have fun. I love to be creative, right? You know me, on my account.
I feel like everyone knows their Enneagram except for me. I need to work on that.
But it's like, what I realized for me is having a system in place makes my life so much easier, because my brain can go on autopilot. And then I started really pounding and hitting the systems hard when I was going through my divorce.
Yeah.
Like, I had Post-it notes all over my house everywhere because I could not remember. Like, my brain was under so much traumatic attack that I couldn't remember. So don't laugh, but I had a Post-it note that had deodorant. Put on your deodorant today. Because did you remember?
Sometimes just simple tasks.
Because you feel
even
it.
when you have a newborn baby, simple tasks like brushing your teeth. It's like, oh crap, I forgot to brush my teeth.
Yeah. Because you wake up, right? You whoop out, you whoop it out,
right?
Change him, and then you're like, and then just day starts happening, and next thing you know, it's lunchtime. Oh shoot, I didn't brush my teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was having those kind of days, or especially those days where I didn't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Right. Like for me, I hit a severe depression in the middle of my divorce, and I just didn't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
And that's when
I didn't want to people. Yeah.
I didn't want to people, but I had to. I had to take my kids to preschool.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm like, can I just keep him home? But in Hawaii, they have like this child abuse law. Like, if you don't bring your kid to school, then they check on you, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I that happened to me. I was working third shift, and then right after third shift, I had my kids, and they were still young. I had to bring them to school, and I feel that like there were lots of days where I was just like, I'm too tired to take them to school. So I feel that.
Yeah, I was. So in the middle of my divorce, once I sold the house, I moved in with my grandma, and the elementary school was right across the street, so they could walk themselves to school. I was like, oh my gosh. Such a benefit.
Well, you were working third shift at the refinery, right? The overnight? Yeah. And that's
yeah. So I'd come home, get them ready for school. And then if I had enough energy, and I was taking online classes.
Yeah, for school. Oh, yeah.
Overachiever. If you're watching this, and you can relate. Just type.
And I get it, because when I was a single mom, I felt like I needed to do all these things to compensate for the fact that I'm a single mom, and to show people like, oh, look at me, I'm a single mom, I'm doing this, I'm working, I'm going to school, I got the kids and stuff. But really, the only thing I was doing was I wasn't really doing a favor to myself. I was exhausting myself, and I was not fully there for really any part of all that. I wasn't fully there for work. I wasn't fully there for school. I wasn't fully there for my kids.
Right.
And I guess I am still kind of upset that I had to learn the hard way. It took me years to be like, no, I don't have to be everything to everyone. I don't have to prove to society that I'm a good single mom. I'm going to be a mom that, for myself, that's fully present for myself before anyone else.
Right. And I mean, I would love for everyone to follow Queena on her Instagram. Just check out her Instagram stories and how real she is. She documents real life.
I'm a little too real sometimes.
But I mean, that's why we connected, and that's why we gelled, because I so resonate with just being real, right?
Yeah.
Talk about
my newest obsession is the Miski case right now. So yeah, I feel like I'm a true crime person at the moment.
So for those who don't, because actually I saw you post about it, and I had to go Google it. I'm like, what is this? But in a nutshell, it's like a crime ring in Hawaii, right? And trafficking.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then I found out that there's this. I went down the rabbit hole, girl. I went down the rabbit hole, and there are other people down that rabbit hole with me. But I found out that the dad, Mike Miskey, was fooling around with his son's wife, and the daughter, might be his and not the son's. And she's actually the president of the company, and so a lot of stuff was under her name. And so it's in the indictment. It's public record now. It's not sealed anymore. There was someone that took Jonathan Frazier, who is, he's the one, he's being convicted of allegedly, and right now it's alleged because it's ongoing investigation, kidnapping and murdering, conspiring to kidnap and murder him. That his girlfriend was pregnant at the time. So the Delia, who is the wife of the son, she took his baby
spa day, right?
A spa day, right?
Oh.
And so a lot of things are under her name, but she's a co-conspirator. She's in the indictment. She's a co-conspirator that hasn't been charged. And from what I heard from other people, is because she was the informant for the FBI.
Oh, dun dun dun.
Yeah, that's why she wasn't charged.
I mean, right? So, I mean, think about like such a small microcosm of the island of Oahu, or just even the state of Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
But you just, like, people, and that's why I wanted to do this broadcast as well, because I don't know about you, right? Because you lived in Rhode Island for how many years?
13 years, yeah.
Right? So living on the mainland and just the ideas that people have about Hawaii and just a vacation place. It's like, no, people live and work there, and the traffic is way worse in Hawaii than you can imagine.
During quarantine, when everyone was working from home, it was great, actually. There was like, no traffic and stuff. So I'm just like, why are you having people go back to work? Just let them work from home if they can.
Right.
That's my thing.
Build the rail.
Yeah. Oh, girl, that's already become Waipahu High School's like mascot right there. The rail is right outside of Waipahu High School.
Oh my gosh.
But
yeah. So, and that's, I just really love being in COVID, because it really brought things to light, right? Because I've shifted, you've shifted.
I had to do like an entire I like stopped taking one-on-one clients. I stopped managing people's social media. I was just like, because Mikey had to work longer hours. It was just him and his sous chef at the restaurant. They had to get, let go of all their hourly for the time being. And so it was just me and the kids. And I'm like, I don't have time for anyone else besides like my home right now.
Yeah. And then right. Let's talk about the shift that you made, right? You probably would have just kept taking on all the things.
Yeah.
In your former state. But now recognizing the what it's doing to you.
Yeah.
And like, right, this is our best asset, especially as entrepreneurs, right? When we wake up in brain fog and we're so like out, like right. And I like that you introduced me to Miracle Morning, starting early.
Oh yeah.
Right, getting things done. Right. So I'm in California and she's in Hawaii. So talk about early. She hops on early. And like when we did our interview for your podcast, it was here. It was 5 a.m. for her.
Yeah.
She's already been woke. I mean, real like awake woke.
I was already awake, but I kind of had to stop waking up that early too, because I was with the kids all the time. So I had to really shift my Miracle Morning to later. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Miracle Mornings by Hal
Elrod.
I was like, Hal Elrod is actually, it's a really good book, and he actually has different he has Miracle Mornings for the family, Miracle Mornings for entrepreneurs, and I think just plain Miracle Mornings. So different variations of it, but to me they're all pretty much the same. It's just basically setting yourself up for success the night before so that you can have a successful morning and a successful day, and you just put that on repeat.
Yeah, I started one called the 5 a.m. Club, which I feel like is kind of a ripoff, but it's just 20-20-20. So you do
a lot of people, it always starts from one idea, and then people,
like the Bible says, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, no. There's also variation. There's variations of the Bible. Like how many variations do we have? The New International Version, King James Version,
Right.
We have the Hawaiian Bible, the Pigeon Bible.
Yeah. And yeah, so I just kind of want to shift back to like the Hawaiian thing and what's happening now with Black Lives Matter, right? We
Right.
were staging a piece. I'm talking about us as a Hawaiian people, not me personally. I was already back in California by the time all that was happening, and flights to the Big Island like were booked solid.
Right. Right.
Friends I know, because like for me to go to there, I was like but and my brother went, like lots of my friends went, and to just support. And like that's, I don't know, I feel like them staging a peaceful protest was like a perfect example of how to stage a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
You know? And what it did was it united us as a Hawaiian people, right? There's so much animosity between all of these different Hawaiian activist groups.
Yeah.
Right? All these leaders. If you want to be part of my camp, I'm the leader. And that's why we can never unite as a Hawaiian kingdom again, because all these leaders want to be leaders.
Ooh, girl, you said some dangerous words there.
But what I'm saying is,
yeah,
what's relevant today is they were able to come together, right? The enemy of my enemy is my friend, or whatever.
And there were people that were donating to help keep the kia'i going with the, they were donating food and clothes and stuff. Because on the Mauna, you just have to realize, because what Kylie said in the beginning of how high the peak, the summit is, it's really cold. And actually, sometimes it snows on top of the Mauna. And so they were donating clothes to keep the kupuna warm, because the kupuna was there. And I know there were like there was, even in a peaceful protest, there's still going to be, people's opinions, because we're human, we have opinions, that's how it is. And I know at one point people got upset with The Rock because he was saying protesters, and the kia'i wanted to be like, no, we're not protesters, we're protectors,
Yeah.
But the overall, it was all about keeping the Mauna safe, keeping it sacred. And although there were obviously there's always going to be, like I said, people's opinions, I feel like they accomplished that. They accomplished that by bringing that together. And Kylie and I talked about this off the live, was how social media really helped to bring attention to this. And then having those celebrities that already have like a huge audience, a huge following, come onto the Mauna as well and make it more known. There was Nicole from Nicole Stinker. I never know how to pronounce her last name. From Pussycat Dolls, yeah.
Yeah.
So she was all, the Mauna.
I was looking at all my Disney photos. Every time I was on this, on Disney rides.
Yes, girl. Yeah. And yeah, it was. But it helped, and also the younger generation. It helped bring them more aware and more close to their culture.
Yeah, because I know a lot of the talk that's happening, right, with the whole white fragility, or just getting white people woke to what's happening in the Black community.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of intergenerational trauma that happens. So, about 2 weeks ago, my friend Joy and I was talking about how intergenerational trauma is actually passed down genetically through, they did lab rat testing. We just, we're not lab rats, but they tested lab rats. Like how in a lab, the mom was subjected to like shocks and whatever, and she had a trigger, right? And then the baby had the same trigger by the external instead of the direct.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and they had the same reaction, even though they weren't actually exposed to the trauma. So that I feel like that happened with us as a Hawaiian people, right? There's all of this stuff that happened. All the way from Captain Cook, I feel like we're still holding on.
Yeah.
To that, or even the missionaries came and then they wiped us out with disease, and
all that. But also the Black Lives Matter thing. Well, not thing, but the Black Lives Matter movement and what's going on there. They have the same thing too, because I had a friend back in college. I believe he was from the Bahamas, and he was saying how Christopher Columbus, when he came down there, what he did to their people, none of them see him as a hero. And he says the only thing he likes about Christopher Columbus is that he gets a day off on Christopher Columbus Day. Other than that, he said where he's from, they don't celebrate him like that. He's not a hero.
Yeah, yeah, and like it's yeah, my husband is like, yeah, like why should we? Because my husband is part Hawaiian, part Japanese, mostly Japanese and part Hawaiian. He's all about, yeah, like why should we like celebrate the people who kind of like did us in,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, why would we? I mean, like Queen and I we did a podcast together about narcissism and controlling. Like it's kind of like that same mindset that steps in, right? Like
Yeah.
how can you like love and support people who are ruling over you? But it's like gaslighting. Oh,
Yeah.
but it's all good. Like you're
Yeah.
American, so you should feel
Yeah.
grateful that you're living in America. It's like, no, dude. Like I'm talking about Hawaii now, right? No, you overthrew our kingdom and
Yeah.
you held our queen under house arrest. Yeah, and she had to communicate to her people through Morse code, right?
Yeah.
Through Hawaiian dance, or hula, or even like writing like secret letters. It's like underground, yeah, like secret letters in the newspaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they overthrew our kingdom, and it just
and I think now with the Black Lives Matter, it's becoming more evident, because before, with the whole white privilege thing, like white privilege, it's obviously years and years and years it's been going on, but no one really, like the white people didn't really understand how privileged they were with everything that happened, because that's such a, what you just mentioned about how Queen Liliuokalani was imprisoned in her own palace by European men, white men. That right there is a big example of how white privilege started. Well, it didn't start, but like how white privilege was prevalent then, and it just carried down generations. Yeah.
And then I was kind of looking at pictures like online. So I went to Kamehameha Schools, which is just it's a private school for kids of Hawaiian descent, and my tuition was subsidized because I was in the lower income bracket, right? And I was privileged to be a part of that. And they're talking about subsidizing education for Black people in California. They want to pass a law that says like Black and Indigenous persons will get free college tuition at any of the Cal State universities. And I was like, wow. So they kind of reminded me of the privilege that I had, because there was no way I could afford to. I just remember praying for, I went to private elementary school and I prayed that I would get in and I would get accepted into the school, because otherwise I didn't live in a nice neighborhood. I lived in Kalihi, so I would have had to went to Dole and Farrington. And now, like for people in California, I guess it would be like living, I don't know, Compton maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm making it up. So if you watch this and I got the Compton thing wrong, they totally correct me.
Inglewood,
but
I don't know. I'm just thinking about rap songs. See, now I'm being.
Now we're being culturally inappropriate. So
yeah.
Well, okay. I want to share this. I was driving around Manhattan Beach. There's a store with the name Kalihi on it.
Oh, really? That's so crazy.
So I'm explaining to my friend, that's kind of like naming your store Compton or Inglewood. Like, that's
in my opinion.
But like that's what I felt when I saw it as a store name. It was a clothing store, kind of like a boutique clothing store. I was like, hey, people in Kalihi don't even dress like that, for one. So I was just like, if you hear a name, or like I'll see people with Hawaiian names, right? And I'm like, oh, you're from Hawaii. Are you Hawaiian, right? They're like, no, my mom just gave me this name.
She likes the name. Yeah.
And I mean, not that that's wrong, but just to understand that the names have meaning.
Yeah.
So you can't just pull a name. Like even when we give our kids Hawaiian names, we don't ever just pull it out of a hat. It's like someone gives us a name and then we
name, right.
Yeah. So it's a whole like sacred language and all of that. And even the hashtag that's here in the description, it's
Mhm.
Kukia Mauna.
Mhm.
And Queena had to correct me. She's like, you spelled it wrong. You forgot the Okina.
No, actually, you know where you
Oh,
have the
was it weird?
kukiaki? No,
Yeah.
you put the kukua. You accidentally put a U. It was a
Oh,
typo.
instead of the I? Oh, see,
Yeah.
that's what happens when you stay out too late and your eyes get all like cross-eyed.
Right, right.
Yeah. But and then bringing it back to the power of what Queena does online, right? She helps women create movements online. Now she's helping them just do it with the cell phone. Like, how
Right,
powerful
yeah.
is that? Like, everyone has a cell phone, right? Everyone takes photos. Everyone can have an Instagram account or a social media
Yeah,
account.
it's weird when someone doesn't have a cell phone.
Yeah. Oh, like oh my God, my dad just got an iPhone like last year
Uh-huh.
because his regular flip phone broke,
Yeah.
and there was to come some kind of special, and he finally got an iPhone.
Oh, good for him. Yeah, so are we transitioning into the summits that we're talking about right now, or?
Yeah. So like, I just wanted to highlight that,
Mhm.
all like, when we're creating a movement, right? That social media is such a powerful tool, such a powerful
Yeah.
tool to get your message across. And Queen is like the perfect person to help you, especially if you're a mom. She is. She was such a pivotal help for me to get my summit off the ground. Like, just the social media pieces, I'm like, ugh, ugh, ugh. And she was like, it's so easy. Like, you just do it like this. I'm like, if that's easy, yeah.
You know what's funny is that it took me time to figure out that you got to actually like social media to be on social media. And
That's true.
yeah, to even like hear stuff about it, you have to actually like something to hear stuff about it. But I just want to be sure. I don't want to are we talking?
Yeah,
Is it okay
so
for me to talk about the
yeah,
summit? Okay.
yeah.
So I have a work from phone mom summit, and originally I have a summit coach right now, Krista Miller. Shout out to Krista. And she, when I was going, you know how they always, when you go through the courses and stuff, they always tell you you have to niche and to get clear about who you're serving. So when I first started it, I was like, oh, I'm going to do a work from phone mom summit. No, it wasn't even called work from phone mom. It was called Beyond the Follower Count Summit, right? And I
Ooh,
was gonna
yeah.
like do all social media platforms, all of them. Like, well, the ones that were more popular with mothers, which happened to be Instagram, Facebook, and now TikTok. And then as I was going through, what she was teaching about niching down and all that, then I realized, I was like, you know what? How about if I make it a series of summit and I call it Work from Phone Mom? And this one will be the Instagram edition. The next one I'll do Facebook. The next one I'll do TikTok, things like that. And I can do one for podcasting.
Right.
So that's actually how all that started. So yeah, I have a summit coming up in the fall. It's called the Work from Phone Mom Summit Instagram edition. And where is my child? And and it's just I have 6 Instagram experts. They're all mothers. So the reason why I wanted to focus on mom entrepreneurs is because a lot of moms are on Instagram. They're trying to market their business, and a lot of them are just kind of pulling at it. So I was like, well, we have speakers who are moms who are able to find success with Instagram, and now they're going to share how they were able to find success with you. And so they're each going to be talking about each different parts of Instagram story. One's going to talk about Instagram story. Another one's going to talk about IGTV. Another one's going to talk about IG live. So the different parts, right? The components that make up Instagram as a whole, and how you as a mom can find success instead of just kind of, because if we're already on Instagram, obviously you're doing all the things, right? But how about if you stop doing all the things and just do the right things, right? Oh, I just made that. I'm gonna write that down. I just just came to me. But
But that's
yeah,
what I
and
love. Like, when you're in the flow, stuff.
yeah, because there's no reason as a mom you already got a lot of plate spinning and balance that you're trying to balance. That's not what the summit's about. The summit doesn't want to add to your plate. The summit wants to fix. I don't even know if fixes, but work with the plates you already have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. And that's how we
Yeah.
jive on that level, because I'm all about
Mhm.
helping women just or maybe put down some of them plates, right?
Yeah.
Right. If you're
Yes.
talking about Instagram, but you gotta, or that's why you stuck to Instagram this first round, because that's where you're most active.
I'm listening. I gotta grab my phone.
Yes. But that's where she's most active, and that's why she chose that, right? It's all about stepping into your genius zone. And, you know, it's all about stepping into your genius zone when you're trying to find out what you want in your life and how you can create a life that you just love to live, right? A life that you can just wake up and, you know, wake up happy and wake up wanting to do the things that you need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yay. And right, it allows you to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Right? You can have your kid in your lap and build a business. That's why I really encourage you guys to follow Queena on her Instagram, and you can see exactly how she runs a business from her phone with her kids in her lap. But yeah,
we live in my parents, so they don't use cell phones. so whenever whenever I'm talking to people and they're like, "You still have a house phone?" I'm like, "That's not really for us."
Yeah. But you know, it's really all about helping people find the joy in their life and what they're doing. Because, like you said, like if you don't enjoy social media, then you shouldn't be on it, right?
Yes, exactly.
My friends that are like, "Oh, I hate social media." Like my husband.
Yeah, I know people personally that have found success just doing strictly email. Just getting people on the email list and doing email marketing. You know, I know people who have found success just strictly doing word of mouth. Like there's not one way. There's so many ways. You just got to find the way that works for you. And like Kylie says, that's within your zone of genius. And if you folks don't know what your zone of genius is, there's a wonderful book that talks about it called The Big Leap by Gay
Hendricks.
Gay Hendricks, correct. See, I always forget the last name. I always remember the first name. By Gay Hendricks, which you all should read. He talks about that, and that book for me was life-changing. I shared it with one of my best friends, and she's like, "It was all right." I'm like, "What?" That book made me cry and feel all the feelings. Yeah. I was like, "You didn't read it with the right voice, I think."
Well, I think too, like if as a woman you're not fully stepping into your purpose, it probably won't speak to you. Right? If you can have a bigger plan and a purpose, and you know, like there's a lot of women that I know that are just fine with just being a stay-at-home mom and just being the best mom that they can be, and they have no qualms about like wanting to run a business, and they're fine.
Yes, girl. Yes.
But right, if you know you're meant for more and you're feeling stuck and frustrated, you gotta
The Big Leap. You gotta read that book. I reread that book. I reference back to it. I've like bought it for other people. I'm like, "Here, read this. This book is Right. I have it right here actually. The Big Leap. I bought myself the hard copy too. I have it on Kindle, the hard copy. Yeah.
It's still up in that closet over there in one of the boxes. But I threw away a lot of stuff, but there are certain books that I kept, and that was one of them.
Yeah. So most of my books are all on Kindle. Even my favorite trashy romance novel books, they're all on Kindle. But if it's a book that I really like, I'll buy the hard copy too.
Yeah. I know. I'm an audiobook and hard copy book person. I'm not the Kindle person.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, they're audiobooks. And I'm like, I just can't do it because they don't read it in the voice that I read things in. All right.
True. Yes. So without further ado, we will let moms get back to being moms.
Sorry about that.
No. I mean, and I'm just so excited that you are here today. And
I'm excited that you invited me, and you actually, that epiphany, stop doing all the things and start doing the right things. I'm like, oh.
So the tagline for my upcoming challenge is called Trust the Process, right? Because when we are putting systems in place, we have to trust ourselves, right? It's called Trust the Process. Tagline is stop doing it all so you can have it all. All is an acronym. Align your priorities with your purpose, leverage your strengths and create systems to support that so that you can live a life that you love?
You come up with such great acronyms. You really do. Look at you. Yes, girl. Yes.
I learned this on a summit, right, on Zoom. He was clapping like this, right? The sound is off, but you can snap and people know that you're clapping. I was like, oh, that's genius.
Really? I just always did that. I didn't know that that was a thing. And I know that this is for when in sign language. Yeah.
But I like this is.
I would just do it.
Vibe. It has
yeah.
Yeah. You know. Anyway, I'll let you get back to your day, and thank you so much for being here. And if anybody has any questions about what she's doing, what I'm doing, come over to the Systems That Sell Facebook group as well. Like she and I are both in there. And if you need help with social media systems, Queena is your girl. If you just just want to talk about systems in general and just how to fit them in. Yeah.
Yes, girl. Yes.
So, talk to you guys. Actually, just wanted to say this is the end of season 1 for your Feminine Friday. But I wanted to go out with my people, right? I wanted to do a segment with my people, my Polynesian people, and to support us, right? Because we started off with supporting Black Lives Matter movement, but I said, you know what? I'm a Hawaiian, and I want to create a movement for Hawaiian people as well. So, or let our voices be heard as well. So, just thank you for being part of this. And I love all of you guys in the audience, and we'll talk to you again soon. Love you guys.
Yes. Bye.